Okay. Y'all, I want to do a video, and is most likely going to be quite long. Uh, cause I pushed my Rev Line out to the public for public use, and I want to explain to you what this does and what it is designed for. Okay. Uh, cause I know I have a what is it, guide or written guide that I had AI write up for me, but it's kind of cut and dry, you know what I mean? And this gives you a little bit better idea of what it means to me, maybe I guess I should say. Um, First off, y'all, I'm a Southern boy. I got a cold right now. If you hear me cough or whatever, if it sounds like I got chew in my mouth because I got slang, get over it. You're most likely going to hear a lot of, you know what I mean, know what I'm saying. Guess what? That's just good old Southern slang. So it is what it is. Um, the Rev Line. Let me give you a breakdown of what this is supposed to do. Basically, this shows me the very full length of the trend. I am on BTC USD because it is the weekend and this is one of the markets I found that is open. You know what I mean? And I actually am getting real time data. Um, so I pull this up just so you could get an idea of what's going on. What this does is let me break in the educational section. So let's hide that one right there. That's just a regular ribbon line. I said this is what you will normally see. Okay. Um, on the educational, y'all, if you turn around and you go into settings, you won't see this on yours. Okay, but I want to show it to you because there's certain things going on that you don't see that are filters built into this. Okay, and that's okay because you're not meant to see them, but I want you to understand what makes it tick. If that, anyway, what this does is it and I actually on the educational one it's not like the regular one, y'all. The regular one I actually have, I hadn't changed it on education, but y'all just have to get over it. This one actually I changed it so you can see the difference where it's dotted, dashed, and solid. Okay, education don't have that. But anyway, use your imagination. Okay, so let's go to education. If you turn around and you look, whenever it's looking for these points, it has to go through a filtration system. Okay, so in other words, everything is being filtered through something else to find our highest or lowest possible pivot. You know what I mean? And then essentially it's just drawing a line to connect those pivots. Okay. I said, so what we are doing is if you turn around, you go into settings, and this is going to get real bright, and you go show the state visualization. Okay. All right, y'all. Anytime you see the yellow, that is state one in the code. Okay. Anytime you see the purple or you see the clear, that is state four. Keep in mind, this will not be on the copy you get. This is just so I can show you how the code works. Okay. So in other words, when we switch over to the yellow, we're going candle by candle, looking for the highest possible pivot. Okay. Same way when we switch over here into the gray and then switch over and you notice is one, two, three candles, and then on the fourth we go into the purple because it's always the a state, a four state. So in other words, using four candles. Okay. Uh, the lower state is usually going to be a purple. The higher state usually going to be a yellow. You know what I mean? And you notice right here we didn't pass the Donshan filter test. I'll tell you about that a little earlier. This one's up, but it is a purple. It's on because it's under this one. You know what I mean? So it's actually still considered a lower. But anyway, but keep in mind, a state one and state four can be either way. Okay, so just because it's down here, but generally, anyway. Okay, so in other words, it's only looking one candle. That's why it can repaint so easily. Okay, it's only look at one candle. State one only looks at one candle. Okay, state four looks at four candles. All right, that's the filtration method. Now we're going to take another filtration method into account that you cannot see that is in this code. All right, because I'm trying to show you what you can't see. So let's go into settings, and it says showed ATR target line. So in other words, this is set to ATR of 5 and 3.2. The reversal factor is 3.2. To me, this gives me what I think of as maximum pain. So in other words, if I can cross that maximum pain threshold, to me, I've crossed over to where I'm essentially into another phase of the trend. Our trend can change. Makes sense? So if I click on this right here to show this, it's orange because most people have black or yellow backgrounds. Okay. So in other words, bam, I hit my high right here. I come down. I changed into state one from state four. Then I crossed my ATR barrier. Okay, and turn around and bam, I got right down here. And what happened? I changed. Bam, I hit state four, turn around, come back up, crossed my ATR barrier, and then came up, changed right here. Same way, come back down, you know what I mean, and cross my ATR barrier, and turn around, and I came through here. So that ATR line acts as a type of filter, if that makes sense, okay? You cannot see it, but it is there. Okay, so we pretty much covered the, I guess you could say, educational part because, like I said, this in this group in these settings, I have what I call an education group. Like I said, you can't see this part. This part won't be available in what you see on TradeView. So let's get rid of this. Okay, and let's boom, drop that. Now let's make this scene. This would be what you would download. Okay, the Rev Line. Okay, let me explain to you how this works. Anytime, this also has filtration methods. So in other words, I'm trying to do sort of what the turtle traders are trying to do. It's just if you know the turtle system, here I'll turn on the Danchan channel. If you know the turtle system, the turtles look for something that's hitting essentially the Danchan channel and following up. So they're looking to get in, say right here. I'm trying to cheat a little bit and see if I can get in down here. See what I mean? And catch on and catch it on the way up. Okay. So what this is doing is it's going to go down and bam, when this touches the Danchan channel line, the next candle that comes up and does not touch the line is going to be flagged. So when this candle closes, okay, when this candle closes, that passes another filter test, and this green triangle will pop up. Okay, same way right here. We come up here and we touch. You know what I mean? We touched, and then when this candle closes, okay, when that candle closes, you're gonna have a red triangle show up because that passed the filter. So in other words, it's saying that, hey, guess what? We're possibly going back down. Okay. Now keep in mind this is what I consider my live pivot. So in other words, when I see the green dotted line, that's what I consider my live pivot. By the time I'm hitting here, I'm getting pretty much, that's pretty much, you could say semi-permanent. You know what I mean? By the time it turns solid, you know it's permanent. Um, we've worked enough into the past. Okay, this line right here, when you see this is part of the zigzag line and it's a one, in other words, it's very, very thin, that lets you know that's the active line. Okay, so it's always looking for this active pivot. Okay, whenever this line starts going solid, okay, that means that this is turning permanent. This most likely will go to become a solid bar. This will become dashed and we'll be looking for our next pivot. It's just that simple. Okay. All right. Um, there's a couple of things that's built into here. So in other words, oh, I want to tell you another thing too. Y'all, it right here, like right here, you do not see a red triangle. See how you don't see that red triangle? It's just because this wick did not come up and touch the on-chain channel. Keep in mind that it when if you know what I'm saying, I know what I mean or whatever. If this wick, if it touches the Danchan channel, that's nothing more than a filter, y'all. I'm trying to find the full length of the trend, but also keep in mind this is zigzag, so certain things have to be honored. Okay, so if price turns and moves, we still have to honor that price and movement. So if we've actually went through our ATR line, remember that I showed you in education, if we actually made our state change, you know what I mean, then we're set up to change and we can switch over. Because I'm looking for full length of the trend. You don't see this a whole lot, okay? But all it means is whenever I touch the channel, bam, I pass that test, and then bam, this will come up when this candle closes. Here I did not touch the channel, so guess what? No red triangle, no red triangle. Okay, so if you ever don't see a triangle, so like you don't see a green triangle or you don't see a red triangle, if you turn on your Johnson-Chan filter, you'll know that's why. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we just turn around, we know this all it was that right there is where we run into a situation where we did not touch the Johnson-Chan filter. Okay, keep in mind this is designed to show me the extremes so I can have a movement within this. Okay, like right here, you had a movement where we went right back up to almost try to touch, where we came from. And then we turn around and we come back down. Okay, that can happen just like right here. You notice we had a little break off right here and it took off and then bam, it stalled right out. You know what I'm talking about where we run to anyway. And I mean, it's just that simple. Okay, I'm going to turn the Danchan channel off. Wait a second. Actually, let me just show you the marker lines too. So in other words, like if I show the open line and fill, it should fill in, I'm hoping, to the Danchan channel. It might not show that. No, I bet it does, works off the marker lines. Yes, it works off the marker lines. Okay, so here, I'll actually go back to that a little bit later. Okay. Let's turn the channel off. All of this is customizable. I hide the repaints. So in other words, if you click on this, you will see where a repaint situation happened. So y'all, what you're not seeing is, as this is coming down, I actually had a dotted line on this candle, okay, at one time. All right. And what happened was as this candle closed, I had this black triangle because there's a black triangle there. You just could not see it. Okay. When that there was a black triangle there, and when this candle closed, that turned on a switch or a filtration, if that makes sense, you know what I mean, and produces green triangle. So it knows that, okay, when that's there, so in other words, you just can't see those. The switch is controlling whether or not you see those repaints. Okay, so in other words, at one time, this was here. This turned green, but what do you notice? When price, so in other words, it was green for here, but when this come down and that broke through there, it repainted. So all of that went away. All that went away. Okay, then we got to here, and what happened? Same thing. We had a line right here, a dotted line. This turnaround popped up, and you probably never even seen the green triangle or it went in there just a second because on this next candle, bam, we went right up under it quick, most likely, and it went away quick. Okay, same way we did same thing here. Okay, so repaint, 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 repaint. That's why I said I put a big warning at the front of this saying this is very highly repaintable. I'm fine with that. Okay, keep in mind that is there for a reason. So I totally get it. It's a zigzag, y'all. Zigzags repaint, but longest time. Okay. Um. So now this right here, we're turning, and as we get, if you notice, because I don't keep it right here, y'all. But whenever if I get like four candles and we keep going up, this right here is most likely to become more solid. This will become solid. This will become a dash line. You know what I'm talking about? And we'll start looking for a new what is it? A new dotted line, if that makes sense. But keep in mind, all this can go back to where it was. So if this turns and goes back down up under here, this will go back to being, we'll look for a dotted, this will go back to being dashed. All of this is set to be repaintable if it needs to be. That makes sense. Okay. Um, when this goes solid, usually when it goes solid, it usually is not going to go back. Okay, by then it's pretty much set. Okay. All right, I think I pretty much covered that right there. I am going to let's go into settings. I want to turn these repaints off. Everything here is customizable. If you want to turn the zigzag lines off, you can. If you want to turn the vertical pivot lines off, you can. Y'all, I'm 50 plus years old. I'm an old man. It's hard for me to see this stuff sometimes. That's why the vertical lines are there. All right. Now you will see match vertical lines on your chart. Do not mess with this, please. Or if you want to cut it down, say 5 or whatever, that's up to you. But TradingView has a bug in its code. And if you get over 10, what happens is more and more of them get off your screen. It's bad about it'll turn them horizontal. So all of a sudden you'll have a green or a red horizontal line, and you're wondering where in the hell is it coming from? You know what I mean? And you're like, where's this line coming from? Okay, you know, and that's what it is. What it is this right here is because there's a bug in the code. Okay, um, like I said, it's hard coded into the code for the 5, for the ATR, for the Wilderman, but this right here can be changed. I have it set to 3.2. If you want to cut it down to 2.2, that'd be fine. I've never went below 2.2. I usually never mess with this if you want to know the truth about it. But everything is set to be very highly customizable. So in other words, if you want to use price high, and you notice I'm using the high, if you just want to use the, let's say the open or whatever, it will change it. Okay. But then you're not passing Don channel test. So I just leave it alone. Those are things, folks, when you're coding, you think this is going to be a great idea. And then you actually put it into practice and you go, no, this actually was stupid. But anyway, you can change the colors of these vertical lines. You know what I mean? Right here, the pivot low and the pivot low and high. These can be changed. These colors can be changed. You can change the width of the zigzag. That only changed this line width. Now this line right here is hard coded in. It's always going to be a 1. What I think of as the active line. Okay, the vertical pivot line width. Uh, this right here can be changed. All right, you already know the Danshan channel. You can turn it on or off. I don't usually leave it on. Okay. This right here was really the old Rev Line. Okay, y'all, I've had this since way back in my old Thinkorswim days, forever, and you know, anyway. Um, I've added in the marker lines, these marker lines right here. The way this works is the marker lines work off of what I consider as close as you can get to a real-time pivot. Okay, so they're sort of my support and resistance in a way. So I think when you first load this, these are already turned on, I think. But like you click on show the marker lines, bam. And these colors, I made them this color on purpose because most people are going a black background or a white background. So I wanted colors you could see quite easily for black and white. Okay. There's a middle marker line. I usually keep it turned off. If you turn it on, you'll see it come up. So the marker lines also have labels. So you have a 0, a 50, and a 100%. Okay. Anytime you turn the marker lines on, it's going to turn on a label for where price is and what it's doing. Okay, and this does work. So if it goes under 0, it's going to show like negative whatever. If it goes over 100, because keep in mind these marker lines only update at the close of the candles. Okay, so when the candles close, then they'll update. They'll do what they're supposed to do. Okay. um. So let's go into settings. All right, I want to turn the middle marker line off. Y'all, there is another line that's built into here because I have fill built in. I usually don't use it, but it's what I think of as the open line because open price is what we're given right from the door. Okay, we're given open price, it goes from there. Okay, so I have the open line hidden in the code. And I did that on purpose because I don't see any reason you need to see it. But if you turn around and you go down here and you say show the open line in the field, basically all it's going to do is it's going to bring up the field, separating the open line. So it will basically just follow your trend. You know what I mean? Showing, okay, yes, we're in the green trend. Okay, you know what? We're in the red trend. You know what I mean? You know, just that simple. when you turn off the open line and fill, it will just basically all it's doing really is turning the fill off. Okay. Now the range labels, when you turn off the range labels, that's just going to turn these labels off. But I don't think it turns all of them off. I think the position actually stays. So in order, if I turn this off, yes, that's correct. Okay, so this is going to turn labels off on the marker lines if you don't care for that. Okay, now if you turn off the position marker, basically all that does is just show you whatever the open price is at the time. Okay, to turn it off, bam, that does that in. Okay, so what you can do if you want to adjust this, what I use these for, y'all, is a sort of support and resistance markers to some degree. That makes sense. So whenever a price come down to here, stopped, bottomed out, price came to here and topped out. Most time when prices come back up, where am I looking to go? Right here, right here. You know what I mean? Just that simple. Okay. When price is coming down, you know what I mean? It comes down to here. Where am I looking to have problems? I'm figure right here because we broke through right there. But every other time we reject it. You know what I mean? Just that simple. So I'm looking for a problem there. I'm looking for a problem possibly right here somewhere. And if you notice here, when we went back up, where did we reject off of? The same level. Okay. Excuse me. Notice here when we went up, where did we turn around and reject off of? Pretty much right in this area. Okay, right where you had all this. Anyway, um, I guess I've always been a proponent of look to the left to get an idea what's going on. Okay, so you notice a lot of this to me will line up. So in other words, like right here, where did we reject off of? Same place we had right here. Okay, just that simple. Because to me, a lot of times what it boils down to is you have buyers and sellers that are hung. But some people that may not make any sense. Um, let's see what else. I think that's it. I'm trying to update my YouTube videos, y'all, to show people what and how I use these and explain what these are and how they work. Okay, because it's easy to see something on your chart, but to me, if you understand how it works to some degree on the backside, I guess you could say sort of the code and everything, that helps. All right, I don't know how to put it other than that. Now, by default, I leave these at so because remember the marker lines are based off of what I consider as close as I can get to a real time pivot detection system. So essentially, they're just based off another zigzag to me. In TradeView, one way you can confirm a zigzag is by a number of bars. Okay, so you can look back to the left so many bars, and you look to the right to the front so many bars. Okay, so I got looking back to the left 10. If you want to up this, it will change the way these work. So in other words, let's say we go up to say 20. Now you see, bam, that changed everything. So bam, I come way over here where before I came to like right here. See what I'm saying? Because it's looking back X number of bars, you know. But always remember if you change the looking to the front, it's going to change it because it's dependent upon that one bar for reset, if that makes sense. Okay. So in other words, it's going to be looking at the next bar and reset based off of that. How the marker lines work and how they reset. Let's reset these settings. Okay, y'all, the high marker line, the magenta one, okay, all it can ever do is take open price. So you see right here, we went to open, 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 open. You know what I mean? Then went straight across because this actually was our open and we went down. We went up with been a green candle. Okay. So it's using open prices. You know what I mean? So all it can do is either go uh, sideways or up. If it goes up, it's only going to go to the open price of the candle, only to the open. Same way with a low, all it can do is go to the open price of the candle or down. That's it. That's it. Only time this blue line, this cayenne line, is ever going to go up is if it resets. So when you see this come up, that was a reset. When you see this come up, that was a reset. It's resetting to go back down. Okay. Here it reset to what? Go back down. And then it just kept falling down, 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 down. It's waiting for another reset. Okay. Because it has not went back up since here. Okay. Same way with this, these marker lines are simply looking to follow the trend. Okay, so keep in mind the high marker line can only go up, sideways. That's it. The only way this line can go down if it resets. So if this comes down and resets, you know what I mean? That means I have been given a possible trigger and a pivot point saying we could possibly go up. Possibly. Keep in mind, you're only using a one candle. So in other words, we got a reset, bam, we went up for this one candle. The next candle come back down, and guess what? That canceled that out. So the low line just kept following its normal logic, kept right on going. Here it dropped again for a reset, you know what I mean? It come over, dropped again for a reset because this should not be going down. Shouldn't be going down. Only reason it's going down is for what? A reset. Only reason it's going down is for a reset. That's it. Okay. Now it goes back up. Comes over, drops for a reset. And usually to me, when you're in a nice long run like this and you see something like that, that is just a trigger to say, okay, this is where I can get in for the rest of the rundown. You know what I'm talking about? I said, that's all that is. But anyway, but that sort of covers the Rev Line. Um, I'm going to post this because I want to update my YouTube videos. And y'all, I'm going to put YouTube videos out for most of all of my stuff. Um, or try to anyway, the stuff I make public. Okay. Um, so, you know, uh, feel free to reach out to me because I want to try to see if I can't put my YouTube link and Twitter link and stuff like that in my uh, bio in my TradingView page, or I guess you could say, or whatever, or wherever they give me. Anyway, all right, y'all, take care. Bye bye.